না না ওই কলকাতার মিষ্টি খেলো প্যান্ডেমিকের সময়
So Gangubai can take
সিনেমা
the
দেখা
throne,
এইসব বলতো
and while she takes the throne like the queen she is, this is a token of appreciation. I would not dare do that because no, and because wo thappad matlab okay. You really went for it, no? You really went for it.
I think we should ask Shantanu whether it hurt or not. I think I went for it in the moment, but I was trying to make sure that he did not get hurt. But after 20 days, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure he didn't shave that cheek later on, of course. I mean, you don't get slapped by Alia Bhatt every day, so that's an amazing
No, there's no such thing. I didn't slap him hard at all. It was acting. He didn't get hurt.
So how is it working with Shantanu? I mean, he's a boy from Calcutta. Incidentally, his classmate is sitting there. He's my colleague. So how is he? I mean, how was he? Was he nervous? Was he good?
Honestly, as you can see in the song as well, it's a very difficult song to do.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time I think a camera is not moved. It's just there. And it's all about two actors and their chemistry and their synergy. Shantanu is a beautiful dancer. He's been a dancer for many, many years. So he has natural rhythm in his body even when he's acting. And Sanjay sir is very, very particular about the beat. So even if I'm looking at him, I have to look at him on the beat. Even if he's putting his shirt up, he has to put it up on the beat. So every movement, the rose dropping, everything has to happen on beat. So we have to keep that in mind, but at the same time keep the story in mind. So I would have not been able to do it without Shantanu's energy and his rhythm. So for us to both be on the same page, in sync, and at the same time emote was very important. And I remember this was the last day of shoot. So we were anyway so sort of emotional because it was the last day and it's like, okay, but we have to really give it our all. And I think Sir was also feeling the feeling of last day, so he went on. As I mentioned, we took 20 takes and we had gotten quite a few good takes. But I think he kept pushing because he didn't want the day to get over. And I don't know which take finally makes him get it. But through those 20 days, all I kept thinking was, oh my God, like I can't wait for the world to see this because I want to know how people respond to the camera not moving and just two actors, interacting with each other.
Amazing. Shantanu can be WhatsApp Polish. Okay. One last thing from my side. It's the 25th of February when this movie releases. It's been 2 years in the making almost, even more than that. A lot of love, a lot of labor has gone into this. So, এটাই রিকোয়েস্ট যে 25 তারিখ যখন ছবিটা বেরোবে তখন ছবিটা আপনার আমাদের সবার। With that, I open the forum for question and answers. Our friends from the press are here, and we can hand the microphone over to them.
Shobik from India Blooms.
I just want to say the best question is going to get this rose from me. So just ask the best question, somebody.
This is Shobik from India Blooms. Alia, you are completing 10 years in your career in 2022, and you have learned so much in the last 1 decade. I want to know that in every profession, along with learning, there is also something like unlearning. So was there any moment during the filmmaking of Gangubai, was there any moment where you had to unlearn something?
Yes, absolutely. Before I started working with Sanjay sir, I always thought that there's a script and there are scenes within the script and you learn the scenes and you come to set and you perform. That's the process. With sir, it's completely different. There is a script, there are scenes in the script. But you come to set, you discuss the scene, and in his opinion, there are 700 million ways you can approach one scene. So he will take the time and go through every process, like every way, every part. You want to try this? Shall she try this? Shall she do this? Will we do this? So we would approach the scene from every angle. Is this possible? Is that possible? And then finally go ahead and settle on a route. Okay, is it A, B, or is it A mixed with D with G and L? a possibility of a totally different language, keeping in mind the tone, keeping in mind the story. So what I had to unlearn is that there are any rules. There's no rules when it comes to filmmaking. And the world is your oyster, literally, in terms of creation and the possibility of what you can do to make that scene just stand out. Like, I would have never thought, like I said, that this whole song would just be in one car. But he makes it possible by saying, why not? If you can think about it, and if you have that belief, then just go take a leap off the mountain and see where you go.
Alia, this is Supratit from Press Trust of India. Yeah, I am here.
Hello.
This is Supratit from Press Trust of India.
Hello,
Good afternoon. So my question is, would you like to say anything regarding Conrad Ranawat's negative comments about the movie? That so much investment would come to nothing, and it will just be burned to ashes. She was quoted as saying in some media reports only 2 days back. Would you like to say anything?
Lord Krishna had said in the Gita, inaction is action. So that's what I would say.
Hi Alia, I hope you're doing good. Well, I have modified some questions. Okay, just one question I'll be asking. कहते हैं बॉलीवुड और बॉक्स ऑफिस पे कभी अमावस्या चांद नहीं होती क्योंकि वहाँ पे आलिया भट्ट रहती है. So the thing is, was there any pressure while doing this film because it's totally related to you, and was there any additional pressure and the expectations of those after watching those trailers, and what about your fraternity, what they had to say?
Well, I think as an actor, as a producer, as a director, there's always a pressure to put the right product together to satisfy the audience and also do well at the box office. Satisfying the audience means doing well at the box office. So that pressure is something that is inherent. It's like you have to make a good product. You're not making the product for yourself. It has to reach out to the people. So that's a given pressure. It comes with it. For me, I prefer while I'm making the film not to think, oh, the pressure, because I feel somewhere that will come in the way of my creative process, and maybe I'll try to manipulate things, I'll try to play to the gallery because I feel that, it will do better that way. It will be inauthentic to the character. For me as a personal, as a young girl, I'm giving myself that pressure that my first film with Sanjay sir should do well and should be appreciated, but that's the pressure I will give myself. Other than that, there's no exterior pressure that comes your way when you're making a film. It's all about getting the right tone, the right emotion, and being true to the film and the character.
Hi Alia, this is Modu from ABC. We had a lovely chat just 2 weeks back in Mumbai. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty well. Welcome to Kolkata. I would like to ask, you have just returned from Berlin.
Yes.
So what kind of response did you receive there? Because the story is pretty much Indian in content and its flavor. And why is it important from Berlin to Kolkata? Why is it important for you to promote this film in Kolkata? Thank you.
Well, I think if I could, I'll go all over the world to promote the film. But I don't know why we felt that this is a good song to bring over here to Kolkata. It's also been a while since I've come here to promote my film. The response in Berlin was really lovely. It was very overwhelming. And in fact, I think the audience there, Indians residing in and around Berlin, and also the international crowd, they really enjoy Hindi films, Indian cinema. They enjoy the flavor, the color, the culture. So there was a mixture in the audience. The premiere, when we were sitting together, I was seeing different people all responding to the film. It was obviously subtitled. I think it was received well. There was, it's my third time. It was my third time in Berlin, and they say third time's a charm. But the last 2 times were also pretty charming. So it's been quite a charming experience, and Berlin has been very lucky for me so far. So fingers crossed, the tradition continues.
मेरा क्वेश्चन है आपको, जब गंगूबाई
नहीं बताती हूँ. Before doing Gangubai Kathiawadi, Sanjay sir and I were meant to do another film called Inshallah, जो कुछ वजह से शेल्व हो गई और वो नहीं हो पाई. That was a very different genre. It was a love story. So when sir narrated Gangubai Kathiawadi to me, which is this mafia queen, gangster, like she's this like full power boss lady. Of course, in that narration room, I had heard two completely different genres in a span of very few months. So I was really confused. I was like, okay, yeah, this is a completely different space. I don't think I was prepared. It was never, sir says, मैं भाग नहीं गई. I said, sir, I'm just doubting my capability if I'll be able to pull off this part. Not because of anything, because nobody had ever trusted me or thought that, or given me this feeling that I could play a part like this. And I won't be lying if many people didn't come and tell me when the announcement came out that, oh, you know, we didn't think that you'd be right for the part because my face is very young and cute and all those things, no? But Sanjay sir believed in me. And he said, I think you'll be able to do it, but you have to take that decision. You have to jump off the mountain, quite literally. So I went back home to think about it, but literally the minute I stepped foot into my house, I was like, what am I thinking about? This is a director I wanted to work with since I was 9 years old. If he believes in me, that's it, that's all I need. So I messaged him immediately and I said, sir, I'm coming back. So I came back the next day and said, sir, I will play a couch in your film. Just let's do this together and I will totally surrender to you. And it was 2 years of hard work, of blood and sweat and tears and night shoots and scratches on the foot and pain in the back and surviving 2 cyclones and 2 pandemics. And long story short, here we are and the film is ready. So yeah, there was a moment where I didn't believe that I will be able to do it. But then I thought, what the heck, like either I'll fail or I'll fly. So I should at least try to maybe fly.
Hi Alia. So Alia, the thing is, welcome to Calcutta.
Thank you.
We loved you in Razi and Highway, those are my personal favorites. But getting into the headspace of Gangubai must have been very tough for you. So if you can just tell us, how was it getting into the headspace of such a challenging character? Because we can see her pain, her struggle. It's reflected in her eyes. Also, I would like to add that it's like as he told you that it's 10 years of your career. Is there any character that you take back with you to your house? I know all the characters are close to you, but is there one character that is very close to your heart?
Well, every character is always going to teach you something and be close to you. This has been my most challenging character. Speaking about how I got into the skin of the character, I don't think this is something that I can quantify as preparation. No preparation could help me go through and perform the character. As I mentioned earlier, that every day we would come on set and discuss the scene before going and performing it. It was those discussions that gave me a visual representation and a world of this character. Sir feels very, very strongly about this subject and very, very strongly about Gangubai. He calls her a rock star, not only for her strength and her courage, but she would turn any situation, like you can see even in the trailer, she's very humorous, she's almost childlike. She doesn't take her situation and make that her weakness. She made it her strength. And while it was very difficult to imagine the circumstances that she was going through and she went through, what I continued to tell myself is that in Gangubai's world, her only purpose was the women of Kamatipura and fighting for their rights and legalizing prostitution or getting the rights that they deserved, making sure that they had the right to live as a human being in society, making sure that their children could go to school. It was a constant fight. She met many people along the way that helped her, that she had to stand against. And that's her journey. The film is about her journey. So the strength was what kept me going as the one tone of the character. And beyond that was, of course, the the bittersweet feeling that she possibly could have had another life and she wished that she was not thrown into this situation.
Hi Alia, मेरा क्वेश्चन है ऐसा कैरेक्टर पोर्ट्रे करना मेरा हिंदी दिख रहा है सॉरी ऐसे कैरेक्टर पोर्ट्रे करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है तो आपके लिए सबसे डिफिकल्ट मोमेंट कौन सा था और आपने उसको कैसे हैंडल किया?
I think difficult मेरे लिए सबसे यही था कि मेरा visual representation काफी soft है. My face, my body is small. I'm not towering above you, so I can't show you power from my body. I can't show you hardness on my face because my face is not that way. So it all had to come from the eyes. So that was the toughest part, and hopefully I managed to do it correctly. But that was the toughest part, and I think that's something that even Sanjay sir enjoyed, the dichotomy of what you see but what's on the inside, and how you bring that on screen. So that for me has till date, I keep asking people, is it working, is it landing, is it landing? Landing for what reason? Can you see it in the eyes? Because I had to really think that, and I had to really channel it so that it would come across in the eyes.
Yeah, Alia, this is Vishal from दैनिक जागरण इधर। आलिया, आपने फिल्म में एक सेक्स वर्कर के किरदार को जिया है, उसकी दुख तकलीफों को समझा है और उसके लिए काम भी किया फिल्म में, जिस तरह से आपका कैरेक्टर है। अगर आपको रियल लाइफ में सेक्स वर्करों के लिए कुछ करने का मौका मिले तो उनके जीवन में आप किस तरह से कुछ बदलाव लाना चाहेंगी? पहला बात ये है, और एक बात मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि आप कोलकाता आई हैं। कोलकाता में एशिया का सबसे बड़ा रेड लाइट एरिया सोना घाटी, अगर आपको मालूम है, वहाँ के जो सेक्स वर्कर है उनका एक संगठन है दुर्बार महिला समन्वय समिति, वो भी इस फिल्म को लेके काफ़ी उत्साहित है कि शायद इस फिल्म से बाद उनकी भी लाइफ में कुछ बदलाव आए। तो आप किस तरह से देखती हैं, आप क्या करना चाहेंगे सेक्स वर्करों के लिए अगर आपको मौका मिलता है
तो ये फिल्म करके ही बदलाव लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं हम, क्योंकि हाँ, हालांकि लीगल राइट्स एंड ऑल वो सब अलग है, वो गंगूबाई शी फॉट टू लीगलाइज प्रोस्टिट्यूशन, चलो दैट्स अ डिफरेंट आर्ग्यूमेंट ऑल टुगेदर, बट समाज में हम उनसे कैसे बिहेव करते हैं, हम उनको कैसे अपनाते हैं, वो सबसे बड़ा बदलाव है जो हम ला सकते हैं और हम दे सकते हैं। एंड दैट मीन्स अंडरस्टैंडिंग, दैट मीन्स पुटिंग आवरसेल्व्स इन देयर शूज एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग देयर पर्सपेक्टिव। एक भाषण है जो गंगूबाई ने दिया था आजाद मैदान में, एंड दैट वाज वन ऑफ हर मोस्ट फेमस स्पीचेस, व्हिच इज व्हाई शी वाज एक्सट्रीमली वेल नोन। एंड ये मैं 1960s के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ, आज हम 2022 में हैं, आज भी जो उन्होंने उस टाइम पे कहा था आज भी रेलेवेंट है, क्योंकि आज भी लोग सेक्स वर्कर्स ऐसे लाइक दे फाइंड दिस they give it a negative word, negative connotation। ठीक है, आपको उनकी प्रोफेशन से प्रॉब्लम है, पर ये भी इंसान है और ये उस प्रोफेशन में क्यों है, किस वजह से है, थोड़ा उसको तो समझिए। तो आई थिंक द पॉइंट इज कि हम थोड़ा सा, I always believe that the world is a much nicer place when it's full of kindness. So I feel there has to be a kind lens towards these women because they are no different. उनके भी खून में, उनके भी बदन में खून है, उनकी मतलब their body is also made out of skin, it's not made out of paper. तो इतना बदलाव, इतना भेदभाव क्यों है? I think उनकी यही फाइट थी और यही स्ट्रगल थी कि हम आपसे भेदभाव नहीं करते, पर आप हमसे क्यों भेदभाव करते हो, यही गंगूबाई की फाइट थी। सो दैट्स व्हाट आई थिंक इन टर्म्स ऑफ change, that's the biggest change, that acceptance and understanding by a society.
Hi Alia, Asif here from Anandalo. The trailer is looking amazing and looking forward to watch the film. Tell me something, it's heard that Mr. Kansali is known for being a very tough taskmaster, especially during the schools. So did you have your share of scoldings or something which you really emotionally broke down and then again you came back?
No, not at all. I only emotionally broke down for my scenes, never because of sir. And I think here मैंने sir को भी बोला, I said, sir, why is everybody saying you're a taskmaster? You know, taskmaster gives you a very strict sort of disciplinarian sort of. He's not that. Sir is very he's like water, you know, that's his star sign as well as the Piscean, water. come and give your 7,000% on set, because that's what he does. So no taskmaster, perfectionist, these are all terms that can give you make you categorize him. You cannot categorize sir. He is totally fluid. He's an artist, and that's the way he functions on set. He'll say, okay, we can go this way, or we can go that way, or we can go. All he wants for you is to put your faith into him and run with him.
But then, as you said, like since 9 years, you have been dreaming of working with him. So this was the first time you're working with him. Did you take any particular advice from Ranveer in order to, any particular experience of his?
No, because I wanted to have my own experience before. There's no need to think. I realized this thing like advice and all, we don't actually do in life. You don't actually go give me some advice for how I should do it. So that doesn't happen. But I can say one thing for sure, that while I was making the film, I didn't need to explain my state of mind at the end of the day to him, because he totally understood. He said, you're working on this film, I know that this is all you're going to eat, think, breathe, live, and I totally get it. So the fact that he understood that was very helpful.
Alia,
Last question.
Alia, आपने इस किरदार को, गंगूबाई के किरदार को जिया है पर्दे पर, तो मेरा ये सवाल है, कितना दर्द महसूस करती हो आप उनकी जिंदगी पर अगर रोशनी डालें? और मेरा दूसरा सवाल है कि मतलब अगर आप अपनी यादगार लम्हों को साझा करना चाहें शूटिंग के दौरान, क्या हुआ करना हुआ? ये दो सवाल है।
I think जैसे कि मैंने कहा, उन्होंने अपने सिचुएशन को, अपनी दर्द को स्ट्रेंथ में कन्वर्ट किया और पावर बना दिया। हाँ, पर इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम वो अपने घर को नहीं मिस करती थी, अपने बापू को नहीं मिस करती थी, अपनी दुनिया को नहीं मिस करती थी। और एक, अगर आपने इस गाने में भी देखा है, एट द एंड ऑफ द सॉन्ग वो शांतनु के कैरेक्टर के हाथ को लेकर अपने सिर पे डालती है, एंड शी मेकिंग हिम स्ट्रोक हर हेड। वो उसका सिंबॉलिज्म यही है कि जो भी हो जाए, whatever she goes through in life, at the end of the day, we all, every human being, उनको बस इस किस्म का प्यार चाहिए, जो केयरिंग वाला प्यार है, नर्चरिंग वाला प्यार है, जो ऐसे आपको एक फीलिंग दो कि डोंट वरी, आई एम हियर टू टेक केयर ऑफ यू। तो वो फीलिंग उसकी जिंदगी में गायब है। इसलिए अगर आपने देखा होगा, शी हैज she wells up in the end in her eyes, because उसकी जिंदगी में ये मिसिंग है। तो हाँ, she is very strong, पर उसका पेन यही है कि काश मेरी जिंदगी में भी ये हो सकता है। And to answer your second question, हाँ, यादगार लम्हों में एक तो मेरा ये है क्योंकि ये लास्ट डे ऑफ शूट था, और जैसे कि मैंने कहा 1 शॉट था, so we did about 20 takes, so that was quite challenging but at the same time very memorable. और एक झोलीडा में एक शॉट है जो मैंने एक शॉट में किया था, which is a steady cam shot of 50 seconds. वो मेरे लिए सबसे यादगार दिन था, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा कभी नहीं लगा था लाइफ में कि मैं वो इतना लंबा शॉट कर पाऊंगी, but somehow it happened. So yeah, these are 2 out of the many extremely memorable moments.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. I think we've so we closed the question. Would you want to? Okay, cool.
तो मैं वुमन हूँ। Preparing for a woman-centric film doesn't make my process any different. Okay, so whether it's a woman-centric film, हाँ, मैं proud सर उस दिन फील करूँगी जब ये woman-centric का नाम ही नहीं आए, क्योंकि हम कभी मेल स्टार को नहीं पूछते कि मेल-centric फिल्म में काम करके कैसे लग रहा है। So that is my answer. That's the day I will feel proud. So my preparation was the same as I prepared for every character. getting the linguistic in place, the body language in place, the voice modality and the tonality and all of that. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, from here we will be going outside. বাইরে একটা খুব সুন্দর প্রসাদ তৈরি করা হচ্ছে from Kolkata Walk, and you can meet her there. Last bit of follow-ups here, and then we'll move there.